more on science safety. Today we're going to learn about how to use gloves, aprons, and goggles.
Science.
Okay, we're learning about how to use gloves, aprons, and goggles whenever you're doing science experiments. Okay, number one, goggles. Goggles are very important, okay? You don't want to get stuff in your eye that could hurt them, or get stuff in other people's eye that could hurt them, okay? Whenever you're using goggles or doing any sort of experiment, you need to put on goggles. You need to make sure they're wrapped snugly around your head, that there are no gaps in between so that nothing could get in, no science juice could get in. Again, you don't want to be like you don't want to be like a Jimmy, okay? Jimmy, so I apologize if your name is Jimmy, just as an example. Wherever you're doing something, you're like messing around with things, and then you rub your eyes, and then it gets inside your eye, and then you go blind. That would be bad. No, you should be fine. Just put your goggles on. Make sure there are no gaps in between. While you're doing experiments, don't rub your eyes. Don't do anything like that. Keep your hands away from your face, because you don't want to mess anything up. You don't want to hurt yourself. And make sure the experiments are fine. Keep your eyes clean and okay. Next, we got gloves. Make sure the gloves fit you and then they wrap snugly, but they're not too tight that you can't move your hands. Make sure you're wearing them whenever you're doing any type of experiment, okay? Don't touch anything with your hands, okay? You want to keep your experiments clean, your hands safe. Whenever you're done with the experiments, you throw them away, or if they're reusable gloves, then you wash them. But you've got to make sure you wash them hard, wash them good, okay? Because you want to be like Jimmy one time, whenever he was doing a science experiment with his gloves on, then he took them off, and he just dropped them in some water, and just left them there. And then he took them back out, but they weren't clean enough, and then he burned his hands off. That didn't happen. I'm just saying it could. No. Keep your gloves on, okay? And whenever you're doing an experiment, don't take them off. You want to keep the experiments clean, keep your hands clean, and you safe. Okay. Now to aprons. With aprons, you want to make sure they're tied good around your waist, but not too tight that it hurts. Make sure that the front part is facing forward on your chest. This is to protect you from getting anything on your skin, on your body, or staining any of your clothes. You don't want to rub your hands on your apron while you're doing any experiments. You're going to want to use paper towels, okay? Again, this is very important. It's very, very, very important. You do not want to get hurt while doing science. It would be bad. It would be very, 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 very bad. Way bad, okay? It'd be bad. So we gotta follow these procedures to make sure everybody has a good, fun time learning, experimenting, and exploring. Because gloves, aprons, and goggles are like your armor whenever you're fighting a dragon. The dragon being here is science juice, okay? And it's a very dangerous dragon sometimes. But that's why we gotta keep ourselves protected, okay? With our goggles, gloves, and aprons. And we make sure there are no gaps with our goggles. We make sure that our gloves are tight and we keep them on. And we're not touching our face. We're not touching our eyes or rubbing our eyes. And we're not wiping our hands on our body. And we're using paper towels to wipe our hands. And that we're wearing an apron whenever we do anything, so we don't get anything on our shirt or on our skin. Okay? These are what scientists do. These are what scientists do. You want to be a scientist? Then do these things, please. All right, well, that was good. And no, Jimmy, you're not wearing an apron. Jimmy, stop. Jimmy, no!